cloud-based technology where our terminal is speaking to our cloud, which then speaks to the EPOS. Both scenarios and create. We'll go through this all later. So what is this 2-month pilot and where will it benefit you financially? So what we would like you to do is for every customer that you are signing up or every customer you are speaking to from now up until December, we would like you to ask, do you have an EPOS system? There'll be either a yes answer or a no answer. So if we have a look at whether they say yes, what is in it for you? If that customer has an EPOS system, we want to find out who they integrate with. Depending on who they're integrated with will mean whether we are integrated. So there are around 600 software houses and resellers in the UK. We are now integrated with around 200 to 250. We are integrated with the majority of the large EPOS systems, but we're not integrated with all, and we cannot offer a Connect product if we are not integrated. If they do say yes and we are integrated, so let's take EPOS now, you will be able, once you've got a Connect deal, you'll be able to have 25% increase on your LTR depending on the ongoings. We will look at examples of this in a little while because we know it can be a bit more confusing. If the customer says yes, but we are not integrated with their EPOS system currently, we would love those details, as our vision for the next year, the next 5 years, is to become integrated with all software houses and resellers. And to be able to do that, we need you. We need to be able to provide all the details so we can become integrated. So if you do have a software house that we are not integrated with and we're not speaking to, we will, if they become integrated, we will give you £1,000. Don't worry, Andy, welcome to the webinar. If it's a reseller, it's worth £500 for you. We don't need you to ring the reseller. We don't need you to speak to the software house. All we need is those contact details. And if we become integrated and we have not spoken to them before, it's worth either £1,000 or £500 to you. So lots of money, so hopefully you will make a lot of money from this pilot. And then the last part is, do you have an EPOS system? They may say no. So if we look at no, and we go down to this box, we are trying to launch something called Get Connected. We want to send over leads to our software houses and our resellers that are currently partnered with us. So if you have customers that do not have an EPOS, we would then like you to ask the question, would you like further information on EPOS and an EPOS system for your business? If they say yes, all you need to do is send down those leads, those details through QuickSign to some of our EPOS companies, and you would get £20 per lead. So every lead you send us and they would like to know further information, you'll receive £20. So that's what's in it for you. There's a lot of money involved, hence why we would love to see this pilot be very successful for you and for you all to hit the ground running and make lots of money and make Connect a really big hit for Field. So what we'll do now is just look at how this might affect QuickSign, just so you can understand it from your point of view. It should be launching either tomorrow or later this week. We will send out formal communication before QuickSign is updated, so you will know when you can start the pilot and when you can start selling Connect correctly through QuickSign. So on the Payment Sense application form, you can see here, this is a new question. Does the merchant have an EPOS? And you can click yes, no, I don't know. If you click yes, it will take you onto to a drop-down box, and it will ask you to put the current provider in. All the current providers that we have on that drop down we are currently integrated with, and it means you can offer Connect terminals. So if we have a look at 3S EPOS, which is one of our largest software houses, you would then click 3S EPOS, and we will then send an automatic link to 3S EPOS to make sure that they're going to turn on integration when that customer is ready to go live with us. And that's where your job would end on the QuickSign. If the customer says yes, but we are not integrated, the software house or reseller would not be on that drop-down list, which means you would have to put the current provider as other. And this is where we come down to the £1,000 or £500 bounty, as it were, for the software house and resellers details. And you would just put the new EPOS test name here. And then if you say no, they do not have an EPOS, further on when you're docking out this application, this is a mandatory question. Would the merchant like to hear from one of our EPOS partners? Either yes or no. If you click yes, you would receive £20 for that lead. And for you to just let the customers know that up to 3 software houses will be in touch to explain and give them a no obligation quote. What we would love is for you to just let your customers know that that's what's going to happen, so they expect it. But from the application form, we are going to try to make sure that the leads that you send over, we are sending it over to the correct software house, one that's focused on that industry. So say a hairdressers, we would want to send it over to one of our partners that focuses on hairdressers, beauty salons. So you're able to get the best, we're able to get the best EPOS system. They will also provide an offer and up to £200, £300 off their EPOS system if they go through Payment Sense. Hopefully that all makes sense then. You can either put yes or no. If you press no, it won't ask the question again. The customer doesn't want it. That is when your EPOS journey and your Connect journey stops for that customer. Okay, so now we've gone through the formalities of QuickSign. What we'd love for you to do is just to see one of the Connect videos so you can understand how it works. And this is customer facing, so you are able to send this out to your customers for them to be able to watch. So Chris is just going to share this now. If you have any questions so far, please put it in the chat now. I can see Simon.
We know that running a successful business isn't easy. Daily problems can pile up, making small tasks harder than they should be. Like the human errors made keying in transactions that keep your customers waiting. Or when you find that your takings don't add up at the end of the day. Did you know that all these problems are caused by your EPOS till not being fully connected to your card machine? That's where Connect comes in. Connect is a leading integrated payment solution that uses cloud-based technology. We create a seamless link between your EPOS and card machine, making payments super fast and more accurate. With Connect, you don't have to double key transactions, so you can say goodbye to human errors. We work with a variety of small and medium-sized businesses, so whether you're a retailer or restaurant, we can tailor our products perfectly to you. Connect allows you to use as many card machines as you want, and multiple tills too. We offer a wide range of card machines and are supported by dozens of EPOS systems. If you run a restaurant, you can also take advantage of our new Pay at Table feature. This enables your staff to print the bill, split the bill, and close the table, all without having to go back to the till. So you can turn tables 4 times faster. And there's more. Connect is super simple to set up. You can even use it straight out of the box. Plus, we offer 24/7 UK-based support, so you can always get through to one of our team and are never stuck speaking to a robot. Connect is a revolutionary payment solution that will help boost your business. It's time to get connected. To find out more, call 0808 274 3307 or email us at getconnected@paymentsense.com. At Payment Sense, we've created Connect, a revolutionary semi-integrated payment solution designed with EPOS.
Hi, can you all hear me? Do you want us to put it in the chat? Perfect, you're all typing. Sorry about that. Perfect. So the video has now stopped. Thank you for letting me know. Janine, is this now better? Perfect. So that was the Connect video on outlining what Connect is. So it is how we integrate our terminals to the EPOS till. So for you to go out into the field and to mention and discuss the benefits to your customers, you need to know what the benefits of integration are. So we will be going through these now. I would recommend taking lots of notes, and I'll go through. Yes, Simon, we will be sending this webinar to all of you, so do not worry. We'll also send you out some formal communication as well. So why Payment Sense, why integrated payments, and why Connect? So first of all, why Payment Sense? Why would a customer want to go with us? What is different from Connect to a normal chip and pin machine? And there's not much difference. So the first one is it's fast setup. We can get a terminal out to somebody within 3 days, including integration. So that's a really big one for a customer. Competitive pricing, we can save the customer up to 40%. 24/7 UK-based customer support, so we can resolve anything if there's any problems with the terminal or any billing requests Monday to Friday 9 till 6. Non-bank approach, we are not a bank. We work faster than banks. We are better than banks. And the last one is an integrated payments expertise. So we have a dedicated integrated payments team working in head office to support yourselves, but also to support the customers. So I think that's again something that we are different to other industries and other companies within this industry. Yes, Ruth, there will be slides with the benefits, so do not worry again. The next one is then why integrated payments? Why would anybody pay for an EPOS system from our partners? And EPOS systems can cost anywhere from £1,000 to £5,000. So why would they want those? And why would they then want it to become integrated? The first part is faster transactions. So when they just have an EPOS system, it doesn't actually speed up how they take a transaction on a card machine. The only way they can speed it up and make a smoother experience for the customer is by having an integrated card machine. The next part is reconciliation. So this is one of the biggest benefits to all companies, and you've probably been with a customer that mentions that they struggle with reconciliation. They always have a couple of pounds missing when they come to end of day banking. This is here to solve that problem. On an EPOS system, if they are taking if they're taking an order, say 2 burgers and a Coke, and it comes to £10.20, when they click pay on their EPOS till, it will automatically talk to the card machine. So that employee does not need to type in £10.20 on that card terminal. So therefore, it is reducing any human errors that might occur. And then the last part is improved customer experience. And again, to use an example for this is Pret or Costa. So you've probably all been into those busy coffee shops that are churning out customers and trying to make sure that customers are getting their coffees on time, especially pre 9 a.m. in London. It's very important that everyone gets their coffee. If Pret did not have an EPOS till or an integrated terminal, they would have to key in on a card machine every time somebody would like a coffee and were paying on card. So even though contactless will have sped the process up for them, without that EPOS till, they would have to manually take that terminal and then manually place that terminal back to the customer. This is going to really slow down their process. So I think make sure you're giving your customers an example of Pret and how quick that process is for a customer if they have got an integrated machine, and it gives them more time to actually have a conversation with customer, build rapport with the customer, find out what the customer likes to make sure that they're increasing sales. And then lastly, why Connect? Why is Connect very important, and why is it the best in the industry? So the first part is there's no added cost. Connect is completely free for integration. There are no added costs for integrating the terminal, and there's no added cost for installation and training. So completely hassle-free for the customer. The next part is its seamless integration. We handle the installation ourselves. We will go through this later, and we handle the setup to make sure that it's not the customer that has to worry about integration, it's Payment Sense. Oh, I can see Shafiq and Ricky, you're struggling to see the slide. Can you see the sales point slide? We haven't got the slides where it goes on to the benefits. Okay, Chris will have a look to make sure that we can get the slides onto the webinar. Don't worry too much. It doesn't say anything on the slides at the moment. So I'll just continue talking about the Y Connect, okay? So then the next part is a dedicated Connect support team. So we have a Connect customer service that work in the head office team. Hopefully you've been into the London head office and you've seen them or you've spoken to them, but it is a team headed up by John Bugle, who used to be a team manager for the for the customer service team in London when they were here. They are second line defense, so they will support with any integration issues that the customer has, but any billing or any queries regarding just the terminals, we would recommend still sending them to the first line defense in Hull to make sure that Hull, who have more employees, are able to handle the large volume of calls, and then integration in the Connect customer service line is kept slightly quieter, so it means that we can get back to people in a quicker time frame. And then lastly, simplified PCI compliance. It is a semi-integrated solution, which means that there's no additional questions on the PCI questionnaire that they would not already be asked with a normal chip and pin. Yes, Andy, there is a dedicated number for Connect customer service. We will send this out all informal in a formal communication for you, so you have it available. I would recommend passing it on to your customers, but please let them know that the first line defense on billing or banking queries always should go to the first line defense in Hull, who will be able to speak to them quicker. The more customers we have going through the Connect customer service, the slower it will get, because there is only a team of 6 compared to a team of 30, 40 customer service members in Hull. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. Please let me know if you cannot see the next slides. So I know we had a couple of problems before. Perfect. It all looks okay. No one's mentioned that they can't see the slide. Perfect. So the overview of the Connect integration. So Connect has evolved over the past 3 years since we've been running Connect, and it's now got to version 3. And version 3 is the best Connect product we have. But as we've had EPOS companies starting with us 3 years ago, and they partnered with us, we then set them up on earlier versions. So we have 3 versions: version 1, version 2, and version 3. Version 1 and version 2 are called Connect Client, and version 3 is called Connect Cloud. So looking into our partners, the majority of the partners, up to 60%, are still on Connect Client, and then we have 40% that are on Connect Cloud. There's one big difference between Connect Client and Connect Cloud. The first part, if you can see where the arrow is Connect Client. The software for Connect sits inside the EPOS. For Connect Cloud and version 3, which was launched earlier this year, the EPOS terminal has no Connect software. It all is sat in the cloud up above, and it means that we're able to do updates and fixes and release them quickly without having to speak to the software houses and resellers that have the EPOS terminals. Okay, we are planning to make sure that everyone is moved over to Connect Cloud because it's much faster and it's got a lot more benefits. However, for EPOS companies, so our software houses and resellers we are partnered with, it does take longer, and they have to find a time in their engineers' time and their developers' time to get this all planned out. So we haven't got a time frame on how quickly we can get everyone to migrate over, because it's a change for our partners, and they're all happy with Connect Client. They're all very, very happy with Connect Client, but Connect Cloud is better. So it's Connect Client is doing the right job for them, but Connect Cloud can do an even better job. So if we have a look at Connect Client, as it's on version 1 and version 2, it's just to be aware that Connect Client has less features than Connect Cloud. So sometimes it will matter whether the EPOS company that you are becoming integrated with for your card terminals, for your customers, it will depend whether we are able to offer certain features. But we can go through that slightly later. But it is something that I would recommend just keeping on communicating with us to make sure that we're giving you the most up-to-date information. So as we've looked at the version 1 and version 2 and version 3 of Cloud, now we actually look at Cloud as a product. So for version 1, version 2 and version 3, they all have the same products within them. And we have solutions for hospitality and retail. Hopefully a couple of you will have heard of Pay at Table. So we have a solution within Connect called Pay at Table that's beneficial for restaurants, coffee shops, bars, and hospitality. And then we have Pay at Counter. If you have been with Payment Sense for a long time, you will have heard that it's called retail. We've now changed it to Pay at Counter to make it a little bit simpler. And Pay at Counter is better for hairdressers, retail industries, grocery stores, and spas and beauty. So if we look at Pay at Table in a little bit more detail, we have got a video to show you regarding Pay at Table. Hopefully Chris will be able to get this video up for us. But Pay at Table is a fantastic feature for restaurants as it allows employees to take payments at the table and pay off their bill at the table. So this video is customer facing. Have a watch, see if you've got any questions.
Welcome to Rob's restaurant. Here he is, taking a card payment. But with all the waiting, the splitting of the bill, and the risk of getting the amount wrong, it's hard work. But there's a better way. Connect Pay at Table is an integrated payment solution from PaymentSense. Using cloud-based technology, it creates a seamless link between your EPOS and card machine for hassle-free payments. Using just the card machine, Rob can now print the bill, split the bill across multiple payments, and close the table without going back to the till. All of this and more gives him the power to turn tables up to 4 times faster. And every card payment is now logged on the EPOS, making end-of-day reporting easy. Connect Pay at Table is a complete payment solution designed to improve the customer experience and boost profits. It's worked wonders for Rob. Now it's your turn. To find out more, call 0808 274 3307 or email payattable@paymentsense.com.
Perfect. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. We will be getting better demo videos for you all to have out in the field so you can show your customers the Pay at Table and Pay at Counter option. Hopefully that explains a little bit about Pay at Table. So there are a couple of benefits of Pay at Table, and it relates a lot to quicker reconciliation. So you can split the bill at the table. So on the card machine, if there's 10 friends sitting at a table, you can split it per 10. So if it's £100, there's 10 people, the card machine will automatically tell the server that it's £10 per head. You can also custom split the bill. So if somebody needs to pay £15, somebody needs to pay £10, you can custom split it until the card machine reaches 0, and then that waiter or waitress knows that the bill has been paid. The next part is closing the bill at the table. So currently, if they have an EPOS system and it's integrated with WorldPay or any of our big competitors, if they take the bill at the table and they pay it off, whilst it's integrated, that waiter or waitress will still have to walk back to the EPOS system to close the table. Our system, Pay at Table, does not make them do that. They can then move on to the next table, take the next payment, or take an order, but it allows that employee to work even quicker than before. You can print the bill at the table. Whilst it is not an itemized bill, it will show them the amount and the VAT, and it can be personalized to the restaurant, to the company that's using it. And then the last one is settling cash through the PDQ. So a big problem for restaurants is if they're splitting the bill and there's £100, one person pays £50 and the other one wants to pay by cash, the server can write £50 in cash. So I was just muting you all then because we had a bit of background noise then. So you can settle cash through the PDQ to make sure that the table has been paid off correctly. This in turn means that there's less human errors. Again, they're not having to key it in themselves. I think we've all probably been there where we've had 2 or 3 friends sitting at a table and you're working out in your calculator a £50 bill and you're telling the server we should all be paying £20. But the server doesn't actually know whether that's correct or incorrect. And it means that at the end of the day, even if it's pennies difference, those pennies mean that that restaurant, that company are not able to reconcile correctly and therefore takes them longer. It improves customer experience. The server can then move on to taking an order quicker, getting that last glass of water, getting an extra fork because somebody dropped it on the floor. There's lots of things to speed up service, and it just means that they can turn tables 4 times faster. And then we have Pay at Counter. So we have Pay at Counter is effectively what it says is we've got an EPOS terminal, EPOS till on a countertop. We have a terminal next to it, whether it's a portable or whether it's a desktop, and they'll be able to speak to each other and find out the amounts from the EPOS till. This means it cuts processing time in half, again, speedy reconciliation, less human tips, and it serves customers quicker. For Pay at Counter, if it's version 3, which is Connect Cloud, so any integrated software house or reseller that is on Connect Cloud, we would be able to provide unlimited card machines per till. If they're on Connect Client, there is a slight mistake in this slide. If they're on Connect Client, we would only be able to do 1 till per 1 terminal. So that's something just to be aware of. Okay, we've got a recap now. I know you'll all have lots of questions. Please put your questions in the box, in the chat box, and we'll be able to go through them. But Chris is just going to do a quick questionnaire for you all, just make sure that you're all understanding it, if there's anything else we need to go through.
So guys, I'm just going to put some polling questions on the screen. If you can't see the polling questions on the webinar, you can just type in the box, because I will read out the question and the answers. It's just more for me and Catherine to understand what you've taken so far. So the first question is, what do you need to ask every merchant with every deal? So is it, do you have an EPOS? Do you like payment sense, or are you happy? So if you can't see the polling box, just type it in the chat box. Yeah, perfect. The majority have got that is, yeah, like Catherine said, obviously, asking everyone now on QuickSign, because that question's there, is do you have an EPOS? Brilliant. Second question. Let's just expand it. Give me a second. Which two answers are a benefit of integrated payments? Is it easier reconciliation, no customer service, fewer errors, lots of errors? Brilliant, yeah, spot on. So it's no reconciliation and fewer errors, eliminating human errors. Question 3. What are the two benefits of Connect? Free integration, reliable solution with backup, 0% credit card rate, £1,000 for installation. Yeah, so the two answers are free integration for any merchant, obviously wanting to take out Connect, and reliable solution with backup, such as having the cloud-based format. £1,000 for installation that some of you have selected is something that on a couple of slides Catherine will recap with you, but that's not one of the benefits to a merchant with Connect. Question 4. Connect Client means the integration sits within the EPOS software. True or false? Brilliant, yeah. So you've all kind of grasped that one, that the client, obviously, the Connect sits inside the EPOS. Question 5. Connect Cloud means the integration is cloud-based. True or false? Yeah, perfect. Kind of gives it away, that one. Someone's put false. Just to recap, Connect Cloud means the integration is in the cloud base. So the example I always give of this is if you've got an iPhone and you back up your iPhone, you back it up to the cloud. So it's not sat in your phone. It's not sat anywhere, you know, within Apple. It's up in the cloud and it's safe and secure that way. Question 6. Pay at table allows you to print the bill at the table without going back to the EPOS machine. True or false? Yeah, brilliant. You all got that. And then the last question from me is pay at counter is suitable for restaurants and the hospitality industry. True or false? Yeah, a lot of you have put false. Now, what we just follow on with this question is that it is down to your merchant what they want to take out. If they do want pay at counter and it's a restaurant, that's entirely up to them. But it would be more beneficial to have pay at table for any restaurant or hospitality industry. Don't get me wrong, either or would work and support them, but overall experience and better value would obviously be pay at table for restaurants and hospitality.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris. Is that the last question?
The last one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, perfect. So we have had a couple of questions through, so we'll go through some of them now. If you have got any more questions, please put them in the chat, because hopefully I'm the best person to ask. So Andy, does that mean a new merchant will be sent to a Connect Cloud partner rather than a Connect client? Not quite. So whoever the new merchant you are getting on board, whoever they have an EPOS system with, will dictate whether they are on Connect Client or on Connect Cloud. It really doesn't make a huge amount of difference about whether they're on Connect Client or Connect Cloud. If they don't have an EPOS, again, it just depends which software house or reseller is beneficial for them. So EPOS Now, which is one of our largest software houses, is still on Connect Client version 1. They are slowly trying to come over to Connect Cloud, but there's not a business need for them yet to. So it's not a bad thing for them to be on Connect Client. It's just so you're aware of the differences between them. Any new software houses or resellers that come on board with us now, as long as the software house is on Connect Cloud, we will put them all on Connect Cloud. Andy, is Connect Cloud a SaaS type of solution? I don't know. I've not heard of that before. I can get back to you on that. Ruth, how does it affect tips? It's exactly the same. So however they want the terminal to be set up, we can set it up like that. They can add gratuity on the end. So don't worry too much about that. And Andy, I believe I answered the question on, is there a plan to migrate client to cloud partners? We are really trying to get everybody on cloud. We do think it's a better product. We did have a Connect conference about 3 to 4 weeks ago, where we spoke about Connect Cloud in great length. We showed them how easy it was to integrate with us with Connect Cloud, and we have seen an uplift from there. But Connect Client is working just as well, but Connect Cloud is much better for us. Okay, let's have a look. So why not? Matthew, I'll have a look into this means software as a service. I'll just double check because I don't want to give you an answer that could be incorrect. So I'll double check with Alex Day. Connect Cloud is available in ROI and Connect Client is available in ROI. We will go over ROI deals later, as we cannot get a land tech engineer to be installed there. And then Andy, there was one last question from you. Let me just double check and see if I can find it. Andy, so why not put both as an option for Connect Client or Connect Cloud? Do you mean when we send that over to EPOS? I can potentially give you a ring after if you want to go into it, if you've got a specific customer wanting Connect. Just wait until you've answered that question. Oh, fine. Okay, perfect. So I think that's all the questions then. Not a problem. If you do have questions as we go, please keep writing them in the chat box. You have asked Definitely less questions than the last webinars, which is a good sign. It means that we're explaining it a little bit more. I'm just going to put everyone on mute again, so there's no background noise. So we've got the top tip from Adrian Truman. He is, hopefully you've all heard of him, but he's the highest performing BDM we have currently. He's very successful as a BDM and out in the field. He sells a lot of Connect terminals and he's got a lot of knowledge on Connect. So we asked him to give us a top tip on how new field sellers and old field sellers can get used to selling Connect. And the top tip was, there is no need to lead with savings when pitching Connect. I either match their current offer or make a slight saving. The integration sells itself. It gives you a different angle in the market. I think that tip is a really strong one for you, because the benefits that we've mentioned earlier on for integration, reconciliation, customer experience, fewer human errors, it's all what companies would need in their businesses. And if you're able to sell them that, you might not even need to save them 40%. And you potentially could start boosting your LTR and slightly higher rates to make sure that you're maximizing your Connect deals. So we've got a couple of scenarios for us to have a look into and just find out what you would do in this situation. So the first one is a lovely Italian restaurant. The Italian restaurant has 6 waiters working at any one time, has an EPOS but no integration, and they allow for 10% margin for human error. What questions would you ask this customer? And what would you offer them? And what benefits would you offer? If you just want to write it in the chat box, someone can have a look, see everyone's answers. Perfect. Getting a couple of answers and statements and questions in at the moment. Leonardo, 6 Connect Pay at table. Potentially, do they need a terminal per waiter, waitress? Find out if they have that need. We can connect unlimited number of terminals to a pay at table terminal, a pay at table EPOS system. So just be aware of that. Turns table faster, we can reduce the 10% human margin. What question should we be asking right at the start to find out whether they have an EPOS system? Yes, Andy, who is their supply of EPOS? Do they have an EPOS system? Once we find out, we can find out if we are able to integrate. If we are not able to integrate, you would be eligible potentially for the £1,000 or £500 to make sure we can, so we can then sign them up. And at the end of it, if we can become integrated, you then have a deal at the end of it as well. Perfect, all great answers then. Let's have a look at the next scenario. So the scenario is a retail shop, a women's clothes shop. They have no EPOS machine, just a cash register and a separate card machine from WorldPay. What would you ask and how would you approach this one? Perfect, Matthew. Do they have reconciliation issues? Definitely, like I mentioned, it's a really big benefit of integration. How much money are they losing from not matching up their sales? Stacey, fantastic. Would you be interested in knowing more about an EPOS system? If they were interested and you sent this lead on to us, you would be eligible for £20 per lead that you send through. Andy, fantastic. Would you like integrated solution that allows you to pay counter and reduce your reconciliation issues? Fantastic. So it's just finding out whether they would like it, finding the needs like you would do normally in a sale. And if they would like further information, please send it on QuickSign, like we showed you. Those details, they'll then be contacted and you will receive £20. Simon, I'm guessing that's a question. So who signs them up if they get a system? I'll just answer this as we go. So depending on which software house they sign up to, and we ask to ring, we will just be told when they sign up. If you still have ownership of that locator, please sign them up. You can also sign them up in standalone modes. If we are currently becoming integrated, it's just making sure you're reminding the customer that we do not have an integration date. We cannot promise integration, as there's some software houses and resellers that we will never be able to work with. And the reasons are they've been bought out by another bank. So we've got Clover has been bought by First Data. They will never want to integrate with Payment Sense. So if we just need to use the correct expectations, but please feel free to sign up that merchant in standalone mode if they are happy to not have integration. Okay, there are a couple of other questions coming through. We will go through them slightly later as well. And then the last scenario, a coffee shop. So it's a small coffee shop, has an EPOS machine, but the software house is not accredited with us. They would be interested in Connect. What questions would you ask? Simon, don't worry, I'll give you a quick ring after just to go through that question. I might have misunderstood what you meant. Perfect, Stacey. So who is your provider, your software house? Jonathan, would you be willing to switch providers? Perfectly. We want the business. We want to make sure that we can work with them. Simon, is it integrated? Fantastic. So it's making sure you're asking a question, finding out the software house. Once you know the software house, please send that lead over to us via QuickSign. Once you've sent it over via QuickSign, we will have our dedicated team to reach out to them. And then we'll be able to let you know when we have become integrated, if we can become integrated. But once they've gone integrated with us, you'll be eligible for the £1,000 or for a reseller £500. Great scenario questions, everyone. So we've just got a couple more bits to do on this webinar, but I thought we'd have a bit of chance to go over the incentive for this pilot to make sure you all fully understand, especially the 25%. So the question you should be asking all customers is, do you have an EPOS system? Every customer from now, hopefully QuickSign will be launched very, very shortly to catch up with us. But start asking now, start feeling and finding out what customers are saying. If they say no, the next question, would you like further information? If they say yes, it's a get connected lead. We'll pay you £20 per lead you send down to us. Do you have an EPOS system? If they say yes, but we are not integrated, if we have not been speaking to this EPOS company before, you will get £1,000 for the software house and £500 for the reseller if they become integrated. We do not want you to do any of the work. All we require is the software house or the reseller's name, and if you have a number. But don't worry, we will do the rest here. And then the last one is if they say yes, and if we are integrated, for each Connect deal, you get 25% increase on your LTR for ongoing. I've got a couple of examples for this so you can fully understand what this means for you. We have completed a couple of webinars on yesterday and today where we did get the wrong instruction for the 25%. So I do apologize if you have been on a different webinar, but this is the correct payment of for your Connect customers. So please listen up. We will send it out in the formal communication as well to just make it crystal clear for you all. But it is a big change for Field, and we're just trying to catch up with it. Oh, it looks very, very small. Chris, are we able to zoom in? I don't know whether we can. See if we can zoom in.
Don't think.
Don't worry then. That's fine. Don't worry.
Right. Okay.
That's so as you can see here, we've got a couple of examples from some of the deals that we've had in telesales. Oh, perfect. So Stacey's mentioning that you can expand it on your screen. So feel free to do that on your screen if you are a computer whiz. I'm not great at computers, so I'll probably stay away from trying to zoom in because I will probably shut down the webinar. So if you can see here and you can squint, but don't worry if you can't, this is how a calculator is made up. So this deal was worth £2,629 in LTR. At the moment, you would, let's take a normal seller, you would be eligible for 16% on that LTR. What we're saying for Connect is you still get 16% on your LTR, but your LTR total will be increased by 25% on your ongoings. Your ongoings are your debit, your credit, and your minimum monthly service charge. So here you can see the minimum monthly service charge is £215. The credit is £325, and the debit is £1,206, something like that. So I totaled it all up. The ongoings for this deal is £1,743. Now you will receive 25% increase on the 1,743. So that is worth £435. So what we would do is we'll add that £435 to the total LTR currently, which would make £3,065. You would then get 16% on £3,065. Hopefully that makes sense. I will do another example for it. It's just we are increasing your LTR, but you continue to create that 16% or whatever your percentage is, whether you're in Champions League, whether you're a new starter. I know it all varies depending on what stage you are at. So if we have a look at this example, it's a big LTR switcher. It's worth 26,000 currently. If this went through a Connect deal, we would have a look at the ongoings. So the ongoings is 22,000 for debit and 6,000 for credit. If you were to increase this by 25%, it would be worth £6,997 on top of 26,000. So now, if this was a Connect customer, the total deal would be worth £34,988. So your percentage would be now 16% on £34,988. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions, please put it in the chat. We will send it out as formal communications for you all again. But finance and the QuickSign will be able to work this out for you as well. But it just gives you a rough idea of how to work it out and how you're able to see Connect would increase your LTR by. It's just by 25% LTR increase. Okay, so now looking onto the installation process. So Connect is a more manual process. It's not as automatic as a normal chip and pin machine. And we have a couple of players in the Connect process. So as we've spoken about software houses and resellers. If we have new software houses and resellers talking to us, they will be talking to the Partnership Development Manager. You may have met a couple of them. So Jonathan Rashad is one. We've got Hiran Singh, who is another Partnership Development Manager. They will then be contacting the software houses and resellers and going through the contract, setting up the terms and conditions for the software houses to get them on board. Once we've managed to become integrated, and this could take anywhere between a week to 6 months, depending on what deal they would like, what revenue, all of these different factors that come into play. It would then be passed on to a partnership manager. And this partnership manager manages all leads that come through and the relationship between ourselves and our EPOS companies we work with. So if we take EPOS Now is managed by Leo. So Leo is the only person that speaks to EPOS Now and has the contact to EPOS Now. If you have any questions or queries for the software house, please send them over to the relevant partnership manager and they will be able to send this over to the software houses. Please do not reach out to the software houses. We have it in hand. We want to build a great rapport with them, so please send it over to the relevant people. Once within the partnership manager, we then have the account managers that are our inbound team in head office. They'll be dealing with leads that would be sent down from partnership managers. We have the integration support team. We have all our developers. We have Alex Day's team, the integration managers as well. You won't have many dealings with them, but just so you're aware that we do have a very specific team for integration. And then we've got an external player called Lantec. So Lantec complete all our installs. So when they complete our installs, we are able to send out a Lantec engineer the next day, as long as we order it by 11 a.m. They will install the terminal next to, or however the customer would like to set it up. They will not provide the integration. The integration is between ourselves and the software house. It's all done automatic, so you do not need to chase this. It will be turned on by the software house and it's done remotely, so please do not worry. And then the last part is customer service. So like I mentioned, we do have a second line defense, which is John Buggle's team that sits in Hull. They are called the Connect customer service. But again, just like to recap that they are second line defense. They focus on the integration, the welcome calls for all customers. They are a significantly smaller team than the whole customer service. So please try to send all questions, billing queries to the whole customer service, unless it's to do specifically with Connect or integration, just to make sure that they're still able to answer the phone in a timely manner and we're still building on our customer experience. But we trust that you'll all know when to send it where to send it, whether it's the whole customer service or Connect customer service down in London. Okay, so looking at your role then, we need to be making sure that we're asking, do you have an EPOS system every time? Please start from now asking, do you have an EPOS system, and try to make lots of money from this pilot for the next 2 months. Please pitch Connect where appropriate. Refer any software or integration issues to head office so the partnership managers can handle them. And then lastly, do not promise on delivery and installation date. This will be decided with the customer on the pre-call. We have a couple more slides to go, but I can see there's lots of questions coming through. So we're going to go to a couple of questions. So please pop any questions that you have on the system, on the chat for me now, and we'll go through some of them. Okay, so Andy, funnily enough, I had a merchant this morning whom asked this question: if I want to place this with a specific partner, is that okay? So if you would like to recommend a specific partner, we are trying to make sure we are recommending all our partners and giving specific industry related software houses and resellers. If you feel like you've got a good relationship with your software house, with your customer, please send it on to Chintan. Chintan will be able to have a look to see which ones we would recommend, and then we can send the details over to them if you would like a specific one. But I would recommend not getting into the habit of it, as we have, like I mentioned, over 200, and it's going to continue to grow every day. We want to make sure we're passing it on to the best people. Jonathan, how do we get the £20 referral fee? So if I click back onto QuickSign, I'm going to go back. So here, when you get to the QuickSign part where it says, would this customer like further information on EPOS? If you click yes, that's when you will receive the £20. Andy, what happens if we have a relationship with a current software house? That could be something between yourself and Connect. I don't know the relationship that you would have, but what I'd recommend is just speak to whoever, maybe Chintan or Baird, about that software house, because you might have a slightly different relationship. Okay. Simon, do we get a list of software houses and who they are relevant to? We will be trying to get you a list of the software houses that we have on Mothership. At the moment, we haven't got it who it's relevant to. We would like them to send it over through Get Connected, and our system will sort that for them. Like I mentioned, it will continuously get higher and higher, the number of people that we are integrated with, which means we'd want to make sure that we're sending it over and using the system for that. So please try not to give any specific referrals. We want it all to go through the Get Connected lead. Robert, how does the service from PaymentSense offer differ from its competitors? Throughout with Connect, and we'll go through this slightly later, but we offer a welcome call and a pre-call to all customers to make sure that we are offering them the best service. We are still significantly cheaper, and our pay at table and our Connect Cloud and Client is the best in the industry, and we're able to do the most and the biggest changes with those compared to everybody else. Jonathan, do we only get the £20 referral fee if they take an EPOS system, or is the £20 for every referral? It is for every referral. So please make sure you're asking, would you like further information? Because if you're asking and they say yes, you've just made £20. Simon, if they don't have an EPOS and ask how much to set up, what's the answer and how long can it take? It's a very difficult one to answer. What I'd recommend is saying, we will put you through our Get Connected system. We are able to offer significant discounts if you go through our Get Connected leads. Once they contact you, they will be able to quote you and give them the best offer. So it may take slightly longer. It can be days, it can be weeks, but it's very difficult to say. So please keep it vague. We don't want to, we are not selling the EPOS systems. The EPOS systems are to be sold by the software houses and resellers, so please leave that to them. Okay. Andy, what happens about tips on payments? It's exactly the same. It can either be taken, put on or taken off. I think I might have missed some. Simon, do we get a list of managers? We will send you out a list of the partnership managers and the partnership development managers, so you have the right contacts for them. Okay, and then there's just the last one. So we can sign them up for a terminal, which can be sent out and then integrated later once the EPOS has been installed. That's correct. So we do have the standalone terminal. So you'll be sent a Connect terminal. That Connect terminal will be sent in a standalone mode. And then as soon as they want to become integrated, we can then turn it on. Okay, but please, if they are not already integrated with us, please make sure that you're mentioning that we may not be able to integrate and we will have no time frame. So just please make those correct expectations, because we cannot promise anything. Simon, should all card users be interested, and why? Good, really good question, actually, very interesting. Yes, I believe so. They do have to buy the EPOS system. we are finding more and more businesses are wanting to take an EPOS system. Whilst we will never sell the benefits of an EPOS system, there's things like stock control, it's professional. There's lots of different reasons why people would want an EPOS system. They are expensive, but if they have an EPOS system, they will want integration, as they've just spent £1,000, £2,000 on an EPOS system. If they don't have integrated card payments, they're probably using 50% of the power of an EPOS system. So if they have it, they should want it integrated. And Declan, can we offer previously signed merchants the info on EPOS and earn a referral fee? If so, how? Yes, that's an interesting question. So you will not be eligible for the 25% increase in LTR on ongoings if they're a current customer with payment sense and you want to swap their terminals out. We cannot promise that we can swap the terminals from a non-integrated to an integrated. It's a conversation you need to have with customer service. Please do not promise. But if it is a current customer that would like a quote on EPOS and are thinking about taking one out, yes, you will get the £20 for the referral fee. And if so, how? Interesting question. I believe that we're going to update Mothership so you can send it out correctly, but leave it with me. I'll get a proper response on that for you, Declan. Jonathan, so they need to be sent out a special Connect terminal. Jonathan, there is no increase in cost. It's exactly the same with the debit and the credit rates, as well as an integrated terminal. It is an Ingenico terminal. As integration is so fantastic, I would recommend charging slightly higher on it, whether it's £1 or £2, because they have so many more benefits. But that's obviously up to you to decide whether that customer would prefer an integrated terminal. Rachel, if a customer has a terminal now and get an EPOS system at a later date, can we swap them out? If you think they're going to be getting an EPOS system, we would still, and they're going for a normal chip and pin machine, we cannot answer whether we can swap it out. And it's a conversation that we need to have with customer service each time. So please don't make any promises, especially for your existing customers. If they are wanting to get an EPOS system within a couple of weeks, I'd recommend sending out a standalone terminal. Ruth, I had a butcher's who wanted a new EPOS system. Would that be someone you can call for me? I believe butchers are different as it's a weighing machine. It's a good question. I wouldn't know specifically about butchers and whether they need a weighing machine on it. However, let's chat after this one and we'll see if I can find the best EPOS system. We can send it over to them. Simon, do you have any competitors? Do any competitors have integrated? Most of our competitors do have integration. So WorldPay have integration, Elevon, the majority do. However, a lot of them are only integrated with certain partners. So we have a couple of partners that are only integrated with ourselves. So if they want an integrated card machine, it is only us that we can send a card machine for. But we do have a better product than them. Yes, Declan, I'll send that over for you. Perfect. I think that's all the questions. So we'll just finish off the rest of the slides, but please keep popping some questions in there, especially if I've missed yours out. So now we just go to the terminal ordering. So like I mentioned earlier, Connect is a manual process. Once you've completed the application, once it goes credit approved, you have to manually order the terminal. So Chris, are you able to bring up that tracker, please? Thank you. So we'll send this all out to you, but this is the Lantec order form. So please remember, please write it on your notepads that any credit approved Connect terminals need to be ordered. No one will order them for you. Thanks, Chris. So this is the Lantec order form. It's pretty much self-explanatory. So the locator needs to be put in. The mid numbers, if there's multiple mid numbers, please put them all into the Landtech order form. The type of integration, whether the customer wants pay at table, pay at counter, or standalone. The next question is whether it's IP, serial, or USB. Now, this is information, if you know, please write it down. If you do not know, please don't worry. John Buggles Connect customer service team will be able to fill that out for you. It's just remembering version 1 and version 2, which is Connect Client, is serial and USB, and Connect Cloud is IP, but please do not worry if you do not know the answer to that. Just put I don't know, and they will be able to put the correct one for you. Limited company name, the trading name, the EPOS company, and number of PDQs all need to be filled out. And then if we just scroll down a little bit more, thank you, the type of PDQ as well. And then the last couple of bits is the type of install. So for Connect, we have a couple of other partners that we have to make happy. We have our software house and reseller partners, and there are certain criteria and certain preferences that they have. With the terminals, they may need to do extra configuration to our terminals to make sure they work. So sometimes software houses would like their terminals to go to their premises first before it's installed. Sometimes they would want all their installs to be sent via Landtech. Sometimes they would like it to be a payment sense install, and these are for our really big merchants that we are overseeing and that are normally in London, but obviously we don't have, we only have a very small resource, so we can't do too many. And then the last one is courier only. Now, Andy, it's a good question. How do we know which one? Now, at the moment, you won't fully know, okay? We are going to make sure that John Buggles' team is checking each one to check which one we need it to be. So what I'd just like to remind you all is this can be a slightly longer sales process, because if it's a software house install, we do have to use that preference and send it to the software house, and it's then up to them to send over those terminals to the customer. So, and they will be speaking because it's their customer as well. For Landtech, we'll also find out whether we need it to be a Landtech install, okay? And Andy, yes, courier does mean that only means that you can install it. And again, it could be a preference of theirs, or if they need a Saturday delivery, we can get a courier there. If you are in ROI, Declan, I believe that you're in the ROI. If you are, we can only courier it or software house install if they are near ROI. We cannot get Landtech out to Ireland for you. And then the last one is delivery address, where you need it delivered to. Seller, so your name. And then the last one, well, the last couple, install date. When does the customer need it installing? What they will do is when they need it installing, as you can see, the next question is pre-call needed. John Buggles' team, the Connect customer service, will ring every customer that has is credit approved once you put the Landtech order form in. Once you've put that Landtech order form in, they will ring them and have a conversation about the IP, the serial, the USB, how they want their terminal set up, and a couple of other questions. If the customer would like it delivered on a different day, the Connect customer service team will request it for the day the customer specifies. So please just be aware of that. If you are trying to reach a target or for whatever reason, we will always go on the customer. So the Connect is a slightly slower process if the customer doesn't want it for a long time. So it's always on the customer's preference. So please remember, credit approved, you will have to order the terminal, otherwise the terminal will not get sent out. Just a reminder on Connect, if you've not used Connect terminals before, it is only in Genico. We cannot integrate with Spire. You need to make sure on the calculator and on QuickSign that you're putting it down as a Connect terminal. It's a Paytech lease. So a Paytech lease is a 36 or a 48-month contract. And there is no 18-month minimum contract for sole traders. You can sign them up for First Data or Global Payments, so it doesn't affect you in that way. And then installation, like I mentioned, there is it's all decided on the software house. We need to make sure that the software house has the last say. Even if the customer wants it specifically quicker, please speak to the partnership manager before you make that call. It's all about our relationship with the software house, because if we ruin a relationship with a software house, I'm sure you can appreciate this being out in the field, we then wouldn't be able to sign up any of those customers that are integrated. So it's all about our reputation, all about creating the best customer experience for their customers as we are treating their customers how they would like to be treated as well. So courier to partner, and then we've got the engineer install. And the engineer install will complete the 1 penny for you, but I would recommend sending over, going over yourself and just checking in with them and make sure you get that 1 penny. Perfect. So then once they're credit approved and once we've delivered the terminal to the customer, the Connect customer service team rings the customer as part of their welcome call. And it just makes sure that they understand how to use integration, they're using it as effectively, and to see if there's any issues that they have. So we have got one to play you all, just so you can realize what the customer is there to expect. It is Jessica. Hopefully a couple of you will know Jessica or have spoken to Jessica. So enjoy this call. Chris, if you could play it, that would be great.
On it now? Integrated, it's fully plugged in, and we've had lots of transactions on it, and we've actually improved our sales because of it.
And don't worry, this one doesn't have...
Do you need any training in regards to any functions that are on the chip and pin machine itself?
I don't think so. I'm having a meeting with my steward who runs the bar tomorrow.
Yeah.
So once I've done that, if we do, I have emails and stuff from you, so we'll contact you.
Okay. And I just wanted to go through quickly if you're aware of PCI compliance.
No.
Okay, so PCI compliance is it's a government scheme where, as a company, you're taking credit, Visa, and debit Mastercards. It's to show that as a company you're a payment secure industry.
Right.
At the moment, I've just checked. You're not PCI compliant. Let me just check on your account to see if you've got the service. Yeah, you've also actually got PCI phone-in validation, which allows you to receive 100% support, and the specialist department help you become compliant. In the beginning of your contract, you'd receive a 3-month grace period, and after that, you receive non-PCI compliance charges. So I'll probably suggest that you try and become PCI compliant as soon as you can.
Right, okay.
Yeah, what I can do is put you through to the PCI specialist department. You can arrange a call back for them to call you back at a better time for them to go through the form with you.
Right. Okay.
Would you like me to do that? Or I can send you the email with the link and with the number.
Send me the email with the link. That'd be great. That'd be better for me.
Okay.
In regards to how do we get billed for how do we get the transactions back into the bank? It goes in automatically, does it?
Your funds are released within 3 to 5 working days from FDMS. That's your banking acquirer.
Yeah.
If you want to keep track of it, there's something called Client Line.
Right.
It's a back office portal that FDMS provides.
Right.
I'll send you a link of that as well with a couple of details.
That'd be great.
You can go onto the website and you can take a look into it.
Yeah, that'd be great, because obviously it's the first week, so it's getting used to it all.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, brilliant. All right, thanks for your help.
Yeah, no worries. If you need anything else, just give us a call back.
Yeah,
bye.
will do.
Perfect. Hopefully that was helpful, and you can see the level of customer service that we're really trying to get with Connect. Your customers will all be getting those calls. Obviously, we have to hope that your customers answer, but they will try them a couple of times to make sure we can get through and make sure that everything's going well with them. So just the last little bit to just check that you've achieved the learning objectives and you've got everything out of the session that you wanted to. So please just have a think about whether you fully understand and you're able to explain what the Connect product is. You're able to advise a potential customer on the most appropriate Connect solution. construct a sales pitch in line with the requirements of specific business types, and lastly, describe the Connect onboarding and installation process. So what's next? Obviously, there's a lot of information in the Connect webinar. A lot of it will be sent out to you as well, so you fully understand what's happening with Connect, but please hit the ground running. Like I mentioned, this quick sign will be all fixed, hopefully by the end of this week at the latest. We will send out some formal communications for you, so you know when to start asking the question. But I would get into the habits now. Try and start selling Connect. It's a 2-month pilot. We want it to work well. We want to start building our reputation in the field, because the reputation within software houses is really building now. So we want you to feel it and get the impact for it as well. So 4 simple steps next for you. The first one, complete the Connect webinar. You can all tick that off. Congratulations. The second one is check QuickSign has updated with the question once we've sent out formal communication. Third, ask every customer, do you have an EPOS? And lastly, attend the follow-up session on Friday, the 17th of November. And then just last, so how many Connect deals do you want to commit to in the next 2 weeks? We'll check in with you on Friday, the 17th of November, to make sure that you've achieved it. And if you haven't, what can we do to help you? In the chat box, please write any more questions that you have. I will stay online for a couple more minutes after as well, just to make sure you haven't got any extra questions. I did mention that I would give a couple of people a ring back. So if you do want me to give you a quick call about a specific example, please just put in the chat as well. Andy, it's a really good question. I'm not sure if the check-in session will be a webinar. I presume so. It'll be a webinar for you all. It'll probably be run by Sheila or Chris. Simon, we will be sending all this out to you to give you the benefits of EPOS, and it's nice and clear on you. Yes, Declan, we can send out the webinar to you. We're going to send it out to the whole of field so you can review it. Gary, thank you for emailing me. I'll send you all the details for you. Sorry that you were not able to chat. Perfect, that's all finished then. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. If you do have any further questions, please speak to Chris about it. But thank you very much. Declan, I'll give you a quick call after this.